Saya tak tahu kenapa. Okay, nanti minta Farahin masuk balik Okay, so this is the last part of chapter 7, 7.3 lah, the last lens. So, we still have similar formula, we still have two types of lens. Ingat lagi tak, ni nama dia apa ni? What's the name for this lens?
Convex lens.
Yes, convex lens, and another one is concave lens. So, basically this lens, the type of lens ni, sama je sifat dia tu. Kalau untuk converging, untuk diverging. And then for lens, dia sebenarnya ada banyak type. Jadi saya tunjuk type sekarang, tapi this is the two main type yang kita pakai dia punya konsep. Okay, so for positive F and negative F, positive F maksudnya apa? Apa sifat dia?
Converge diverge.
Yes. So positive F means converge.
Lens dia depan lens kot.
Negative F is diverge. Okay. So if you're comparing the convex and concave, which one is converge and which one is diverge? I mean by its shape, boleh tahu.
Convex. Converge.
Okay, so this one is converge. So obviously the other one is diverge. So you expect the convex will have a positive F, while concave you have a negative F. Okay, so my advice is that if you want to memorize the behavior of convex and concave lens, try to memorize based on the shape of the lens ni itself. Yang cembung, yang gemuk ni, the lights will comes and then will be focusing on a certain point. Contohlah. So that particular point is a focal point, and maksudnya this one is a converge. Kalau this one is diverge. Sebenarnya saya dah tunjuk kat 7.2, I just repeat a little bit. Okay. And then for V, kalau U for your syllabus is always positive, right? In real life dia ada positive and negative, but for your syllabus you only focus on the positive. Okay, for the V, we still have the positive and negative. Kalau positive V maksudnya apa? The image is
Real.
real. Kalau negative V, image is virtual. Okay. So if you memorize these properties, dia memang exactly the same with the mirror. But if you memorize based on its name, dia akan terbalik sikit lah. Contohnya, example for concave mirror, that one is converging, so positive F. But here you can see that it is actually negative F. So that's the difference. And then the position of real and virtual is actually opposite to the mirror as well. So you will expect for this part, behind the lens is a positive V. In front here is a negative V. So same case with this one lah. In front here is negative V, and behind the lens is actually your positive V. So please be careful with that. So sometimes you calculate everything, you get the results, and then you get positive and negative V. You need to know what does it mean by positive and negative. So it means real and virtual, but the position itself you have to know, whether it's behind the lens or in the same side with the object. Okay, going back to the M equation. So you still have positive M and negative M. Positive M maksudnya apa? What does it mean by positive M?
Magnified.
Sikit lagi. Selain daripada magnified. Sebab,
Right.
yes. Kalau positive M, it means upright.
Upright.
Yes. Kalau negative M, it means inverted. Okay. The magnitude yang determine whether it is magnified or diminished. Okay, so all in all, in general, is basically the same with the mirror. The only difference is that the name. Contohnya untuk convex behavior dia adalah positif, concave behavior is negative. So kalau kamu hafal nama, maybe kamu akan confuse. But if you memorize on the shape, sepatutnya tak ada masalah. So that's why I suggest you to memorize on the shape. Oops. Saya bawa ni. Bring this one a little bit up here. Okay. So far, any question? Okay.
Tak ada.
Tak
Tak
ada.
ada.
Saya punya phone mati. Okay. One more thing, important parts yang pasal the difference between lens and mirror. Kalau mirror dulu, if you guys still remember, we have an equation where if you are given the values of radius r, you can find the focal length by dividing the r with 2. So r is equals to 2f. But here, it doesn't work like that lah. So if you want to find f, if you are given r, you have to calculate. How to calculate? You can use the lens maker equation. So by its name, I think you guys should expect lah. This equation is being used by the those that makes the lens. So if I go back to this diagram, you can see that the lens is actually consists of two circles. So this part is actually one big circle, and another part is this part is another big circle. Satu circle, dua circle. And this circle, it doesn't have to have the same radius. Okay, sama juga macam ni kan. Ini nampak sikit kot. Circle number 1, circle number 2. Okay, and this circle doesn't have to have this exactly the same radius. It could have a different radius. So if you have a circle with different radius, you need to find the focal length. You have to use this formula first. Okay, lens maker equation. The main reason you use this formula is to find the f. Okay, once you found the f, you can use the formula like the lens equation, like 1 over f equals to 1 over u plus 1 over v, to proceed to find image position, or you can use n to find the image characteristic. But the key thing here, you need to have the f first. So kalau f dia tak kasih, let's say you have to calculate first lah. Tak susah pun saya. Okay. So this is still a vector formula in a way that it still have a vector positive and negative. So positive f still means the same thing lah. So I'll just rewrite this one. Okay. So macam saya cakap awal ni, main lens that you have is convex and concave. But then for lens kita ada banyak type, contohnya yang bawah ni lah. Biconvex, tenoconvex, concave, biconvex. Okay, yang ni semua tak saya pergi balik. Tapi saya nak tunjuk kamu dia ada banyak lens. And this lens, setiap satu lens ni maybe dia ada different R for each side. So R dia berbeza. But positive F and negative F dia still means satu benda je lah. Converge dengan diverge. So katakanlah dia buat macam ni. Then you try to calculate the F, convex meniscus, and then you found the value of F to be equals to -8. So we have to treat this one as a diverging lens. Okay, and then the rest sama je macam yang sebelum ni kita sisakan. Okay, back to this equation. You will notice that we have R1 and R2. So the first thing, obviously, you have to decide which one is R1 and which one is R2. I take one example. Let's see if I choose convex meniscus. So student biasa confused with the convex meniscus and concave meniscus. Dua-dua ada meniscus, satu tu convex, satu tu concave. The easiest way to differentiate between these two is that you can memorize lah. Paling senang sekali kamu memorize. So convex, ujung dia tajam. So saya suka bayangkan macam X. So dia tajam lah. Convex Meniscus. So saya draw dekat sini. Okay. Actually dia ada satu main karakteristik lah. Okay, kita pergi dulu dekat cara nak selesaikan ya. So if you want to solve this one, the first thing that you need to do is that you can draw the direction of ray. So direction of ray tu it can be from left to right, macam ni, or it can be from right to left. So your R1 and R2 will depends on the direction of your ray. So, tak kisah kamu nak pilih mana, mana-mana pun sama je. Sebab I can also draw the same lens like this. Kan? Tapi nama dia still sama. So dia tak kisah pun sebenarnya. Okay, let's say if I choose my ray direction to be from left to right. Like that. Okay. If this is my ray direction, the first surface that the ray touch, that one is your R1. The second surface that it touch is R2. Okay. So the first R1 you have to determine whether it is positive or negative. And since this one is a vector punya equation, so macam mana nak tentukan the positive or negative, you have to ask yourself lah. Ignore this part. Yeah, we just focus on R1 first. When the light hit the surface, will the light be converging or diverging? Considering that this is the type of surface. Converge ke diverge?
Converse.
Converge, because dia nampak
Converge.
convex punya surface. Yes, very good. So if converge, you expect this one is positive. Okay. So now the light pass through the first surface. You can ignore the first surface. Dah boleh terus ignore. Okay. Now we just focus on this surface. So the ray sees this surface as a convex as well. So converge ke diverge?
Converse.
Converge juga. So positive juga. So after that you just substitute inside here. If this one is positive and this one is negative, substitute negative value inside here. Okay, contohnya negative 5. And then make sure R1 is in front, R2 is behind. You have to follow exactly like this lah. Again, it doesn't matter where the ray comes from, as long as you stick with that particular direction. Okay, how about N material and N medium? So material, normally when you try to make a lens, normally we use a glass. So you expect the region of N material, normally it doesn't have to, maybe around 1.4 to 1.6, around that region. But it doesn't have to be this region. It depends on the question. Tapi ni contoh je. And the medium is actually the location of the lens itself. Most of the time, macam glasses kita, the lens is on the air. So when it's on air, so that means N medium is equals to 1. Normally, and air. But sometimes, the follow-up question, they will say that what happened when the lens is being put underwater, ataupun the lens is being put in an aquarium, dialihkan, dia letak dalam tu. So what will happen is that you basically now have N medium. N medium is no longer 1. Now maybe you ada 1.33. So far any question ke tak? I guess clear.
Sir.
Hmm.
R1 dengan R2 tu dia kalau direction dia negatif, so maksudnya kita punya R1 dengan R2 tu negatif lah.
Okay.
Oh, so
Kejap, saya tunjuk satu contoh. Macam mana kalau saya buat arrow dia daripada kanan ke kiri pula? Itu maksud kamu kan?
okay. Macam mana kalau arrow dia ke kiri? So R1 dengan R2 dia negatif ke?
Okay, kita tengok Saya copy. Let's say if we are discussing the exact same lens, but the only difference here, for some reason kita nak buat arrow dia daripada kanan ke kiri. Okay, so the first thing that you will notice, what will change is that your R1 and R2. So R1 kamu sebenarnya the first surface, so this would be your R1 and this would be your R2. Okay, now how about the sign positive and negative? So the ray will see this surface as a concave. So positive ke negative? Diverging?
Negative.
Yes, negative.
Negative.
So it will be negative. And then the second surface, still negative. So what will happen is that when I substitute back inside this equation, R1 and R2 is negative. So it becomes negative and negative, so positive. And then dia akan cancel out. Because ada negative kat sini. Dia memang akan sama. So you don't have to worry. You can draw the arrow like this, or you can draw the arrow like this, or you can even or you can even draw the shape in opposite direction. Contoh kalau saya nak draw macam ni, boleh juga, tak ada masalah. You still get the same exact answer. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that lah. Okay, the thing about convex meniscus, dia punya R yang inside here, yang inside here, dia punya R tu actually bigger daripada R yang luar dia. So that's the difference between convex meniscus dengan concave meniscus. Kalau concave meniscus, yang luar ni lagi besar daripada yang dalam. R dia, values dia, contohnya 8 dengan 5 kan. So 8 tu duduk dekat sini, 5 tu duduk dekat sini. Kalau yang ni, 8 tu duduk kat sini, 5 tu duduk kat situ. Okay, itu in terms of proper drawing, proper quantity lah. Tapi when you try to calculate, kadang-kadang kita salah lukis. Soalan dia kata convex meniscus tapi kamu lukis concave meniscus. Kalau soalan tu tak suruh kamu lukis gambar, kamu lukis terbalik pun you still get the same answer. Sama je. Jawapan dia sama je. It doesn't matter pun lukisan tu just to help you. Okay, so far ada soalan tak? Before saya proceed ke lens ni.
Boleh sir, ada.
Okay, boleh. So, first thing first, daripada mana datang nama dia ni, cuba kita tengok. So, the biconvex is actually bi and convex. Kamu boleh separate lah. Bi tu maksudnya dua. So, you have two surface that is convex. If you look from here, you see a convex. If you look from here, then you will see a convex again. So this is what it means by biconvex. You see two surface that is a convex surface. Tapi ini untuk nama dia. But when you try to use this formula, please use one direction je. Jangan tengok kiri kanan pula. Okay. So for biconcave, by its name, you can know lah. It's a bi. So two surface that is a concave surface. Concave, concave. Kalau tengok daripada kiri and kanan. Plano-convex. One surface is plane, another surface is convex. Plano-concave, one surface is plane, another surface is concave. Okay. Meniscus comes sama macam dalam kamu punya measuring cylinder kan ada meniscus kan. Tu maksudnya adalah lengkung macam tu. This is what it mean by meniscus. Cuma bezanya convex dan concave. So my advice is just memorize lah. Convex tajam, concave ada gemuk sikit. Itu je beza dia. And dia tak pernah lagi suruh kamu lukis meniscus. Dia pernah suruh lukis plano convex kot. Kata saya. Okay, and one more thing about biconvex and biconcave. R1 and R2 tak semestinya sama. Dia boleh jadi sini 8, sini 5. Atau dia boleh jadi sini 3, sini 5. Dia tak kisah, dia tak semestinya sama. But sometimes dalam soalan dia just cakap a biconvex lens has a radius of 3 cm. So we assume R1 dengan R2 tu sama. Kalau dia tak cakap ada 2R, we assume the R is the same. You guys clear with this?
So, tapi sign dia tetap tak berubah kan, walaupun value je yang tak semestinya sama, yang sign dia tetap sama kan,
Betul?
sign dia.
Okay, sign dia again kita tengok. Okay, kalau kamu tengok dekat gambar ni kan ada sign. Cuba kita check satu persatu. Betul ke tak sign dia tu? Dengan apa yang kita belajar tadi kan? So let's say for the sake of discussing the sign here, maybe kita boleh anggap ray travel from left to right dalam example ni lah. Tapi again kalau kamu nak buat right to left pun tak ada masalah. Okay, let's say kita buat ni. This is your ray. Okay, so if this is your ray punya direction, the first surface R1, the second surface R2. R1, R2, R1, R2, R1, R2. Okay, semua R1, R2. Ini tak ada masalah lah. Okay, now positive and negative. Cuba tengok satu persatu. So the ray comes from here, it touch the first surface, you see this one as a convex surface, positive ke negative? Positive. Dia nampak second surface, dia nampak concave, negative. Okay. And then you can check one by one. Okay. But for plano, kan, yeah, this is a plane kan? So you will notice that this one is infinity. Dia tak ada positif, tak ada negatif, dia just infinity. Infinity tu, you can imagine, kamu ada satu circle that is very big. Contohnya macam di kita punya Earth ni kan, Earth kita sebenarnya adalah sphere. But because the radius of the Earth is very big, almost infinity lah kalau compare dengan R1 yang berapa cm ni. So, kamu nampak yang this surface as a flat surface. Tapi dia sebenarnya adalah circle yang very big radius. Macam kita pergi tanah, kita nampak macam flat kan? Tapi yang sebenarnya kita punya Earth bukan flat lah. So, ada soalan tak? Kalau ini, kamu faham tak? Ini positif, ini infinity. This one is positive, this one is positive. Because you see this surface as a convex and this surface as a convex.
Faham sir.
Faham Okay.
Boleh.
Faham?
Faham.
Atau faham ke tak? Cuba tengok satu soalan dekat tutorial. So, this is actually question number 13. Calculate the focal length of the concave meniscus lens. Radius of meniscus is 12 cm and radius of concave is 8 cm. Okay. First thing first, obviously we want to draw the diagram. Okay. Concave meniscus actually yang gemuk ke yang kurus? Yang gemuk This one. Okay, maybe we can try to draw the diagram first. Again, dalam exam, let's say kamu memang tak tahu mana concave, mana convex meniscus, kamu draw je dulu. Biasanya jawapan dia sama je. Jawapan tak lari pun. Tak buat-buat. Okay, let's say this is your lens. You have 12 cm and 8 cm. So like I told you before, this one will happen when the 12 cm yang besar tu dekat belah belakang, yang kecil tu dekat belah depan. So, maksud saya ni lah. This is 12, this is 8. Okay. Kalau this one is bigger than this one, dia akan jadi yang tajam. Tapi sekarang tak tajam kan, so bentuk dia macam ni. So kamu boleh ignore lah apa meniscus, nama ni apa ni, meniscus dengan concave tu, you can simply ignore. Okay, the refractive index of glass is 1.45. Okay, that one is the material. So lens is made up of the glass. So N material is equals to 1.45. Okay, you notice that it doesn't state anything about the medium. So we assume it is at the air. So N medium is equals to 1. Kita assume lah sebab dia tak cakap pun ada air ke apa. Okay, now you have to draw your direction of ray. Because you want to use this formula, saya tulis the formula there. You want to use this formula to find the focal length. So you already have the values of material and medium. Now you just have to determine your arc. Okay, ray kamu nak start from where to where? Cuba kamu pilih. Kiri kanan ke kanan kiri?
Kiri kanan.
Okay, let's say kita buat kiri
Kiri
kanan.
kanan.
So this is your direction of ray. So if this is your direction of ray, this would be your, yang 12 tu R1 ke R2?
12 tu R1.
R1, 8 tu
R1.
8 tu R2.
R2. Okay, so 12 tu positif ke negatif?
Positif.
Meniscus positif.
Okay, jangan hafal nama just tengok surface je. Dia nampak surface dia
Surface
macam ni,
dia
cembung kan?
besar.
Yes.
Positif.
So positif.
Positif.
Yang 8 tu positif atau negatif?
Positif kak.
Positif juga. Okay, so if you substitute inside this formula, so this part kamu akan dapat 0.45 1/12 minus 1/8. Kalau ada negatif, masukkan je nilai negatif tu. Okay, so as your homework, maybe kamu boleh try buat kot. Nanti kamu buat kalau arrow dia ke kiri pula. So, can you compare the answer or not? Sama tak jawapan ni? In this case, I think you should get negative 553.33. Jangan lupa 1/, tu. So, the negative here means this one is actually your diverging lens. So, katakanlah dalam exam, after they ask you to draw the ray diagram. Tak pernah tanya tapi kalau dia suruh bikin ray diagram, you can simply assume that this one macam concave lens. Cuma bentuk je lah lain, tapi dia punya behavior, ray punya direction semua sama macam the diverging lens. Okay, ada soalan ke tak?
Tak boleh.
Okay, so maybe we can proceed with the ray diagram. So macam saya cakap lah, you always have two parts. One is for calculation, which has lots of mark. Another one is ray diagram. Walaupun mark ada sikit, tapi you still need to know the basic, and then you still need to know to find the image position. Sebenarnya kita belajar ray diagram ni lebih pada nak tentukan image position tu, in case kamu tak terlupa image dekat mana. Okay, so macam biasa, I'm going to show you how to draw concave and convex. Tapi saya buat satu contoh je. So, I'm going to choose number 5 tu. So, I'm going to draw the U bigger than 2F, what will happen. And after that, at home, I want you guys to draw the remaining ni. Okay, bilik lah. 1 sampai 4 ni, I want you to try to draw. And nanti saya nak tengok. Okay, ketat drawing kamu. And then for concave, dia tak ada banyak image position, semua image dia adalah sama je. Okay, nanti kita tengok. Okay, now to draw macam biasa. Mula-mula draw apa? Kalau nak bikin ray diagram.
Line.
Line apa ni nama dia? Principal axis. Principal axis ni masalah students. Bila dalam kertas jawapan tu, obviously your answer paper ada line macam ni, kan? So normally student dia terlupa, dia nak lukis last tau ni, tapi lepas tu terlupa nak garis pakai pembaris. So pemeriksa dia assume kamu tak lukis lah, so kamu hilang markah 1, dalam markah 2 hilang 1. Belajar nak buat lama, tapi bila ni hilang gitu je, so jangan hilangkan lah. Once kamu draw principal axis, saya nak kamu ni, kamu buat bersama-sama dengan saya ke tak ni? You guys doing with me ke?
Buat
Ada.
Kalau kamu buat sekali, mula-mula sekali lukis principal axis. Once kamu draw principal axis, saya nak kamu lukis 5 sengat. 5 sengat tu maksudnya 5. 1, 2, make sure sengat jarak dia sama. Okay. Dah okey belum?
Dah
sir.
tu.
Okey. Mungkin untuk dua, concave dan convex. Okay. After that, kalau untuk mirror, kamu dah boleh lukis mirror dia. Okay. Tapi sekarang ni, we are not talking about mirror, we are talking about lens. Jangan lukis mirror dulu. Lukis dotted line dekat yang sengat tengah-tengah tu. Okay, lukis kat sengat tu kat tengah-tengah atas bawah lah. Saya ingat sikit lagi. Okay, perpanjang sikit. Kita lebih sikit tak apa. Susah pula buat. Ini sekarang buat sengat-sengat juga. This. Okay, make sure the 90 degrees to the principal axis tadi. Again. Okay, now you can draw the lens first. Contohnya yang pertama ni kita nak bikin convex. Convex ni yang gemuk kan yang kurus. Convex lens.
Kurus. Gemuk.
Gemuk lah.
Gemuk.
Body shaming untuk tu. Convex. Concave. Okay, so the difference yang pertama tadi, boleh compare with the mirror, is that for this one kita ada yang dotted line warna biru tu, yang 90 degrees to the principal axis. That's the main difference lah. Okay, another difference is that your labeling. Kalau dulu kita ada F dengan C, sekarang kita ada F dengan to F. But I don't want you to label semua sengat tu lagi. I just want you to label, kalau untuk convex, saya nak kamu label belah kanan dia. Okay. Kalau untuk concave, saya nak kamu label belah kiri dia. After this, I will explain lah kenapa. Okay, so far, can you guys follow? Boleh ikut tak?
Boleh sir, boleh.
Boleh sir.
Yeah. So, first thing tadi, saya lukis principal axis. Lepas tu, saya buat 5 sengat. Make sure jarak dia sama. Kalau 3 cm, semua 3 cm. Kalau 4 cm, 4 cm lah. And then, kamu draw yang kat tengah-tengah tu, dotted line, 90 degrees to the principal axis. Takkan pembaris jangan pembaris. After that, you draw the lens. Okay. Kalau convex, kamu label F dengan 2F ni on the right hand side or behind the mirror. Concave, in front of the mirror, you label F dengan 2F. Okay. Now you can draw the object in position. In this case, we want to draw when U is bigger than 2F. So maybe I can draw my object to be over here. Jangan lebih daripada lens lah, ataupun kamu besarkan lens tu. Lens tu make sure tinggi sikit. Label with the O. Okay, so basically you have 3 main ray. Sama juga macam sebelum ni. Ray number 1, ray yang paling saya suka, is that dia datang dia 90 parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Saya pendekkan sikit saya pilih supaya dia dekat atas line. So that I can draw this senang sikit. Oops. Make sure pakai ruler. Macam tu. Okay, dia datang dia parallel. After that, dia pergi ke F. Since kamu hanya lukis F tu dekat satu side, so tak mungkin salah lah. Kamu mesti akan pergi ke F sini. Okay. Faham tak ni?
Oh,
Make sure ada dua arrow. Satu ray, masa dia datang, masa dia dah refract, ada setiap satu tu ada arrow. Okay, and then lagi satu perbezaan yang sangat berbeza dengan mirror, dia berubah direction ni dekat dotted line tu. Okay, kalau mirror dia dekat surface, kalau lens dia dekat dotted line. So dotted line kamu ni sangat penting. Everything happen on the dotted line for lens. So bila dia jadi dekat dotted line, yang shape of the lens ni dia macam tak kisah sangat. Janji shape nampak convex dah cukup. Sebab tu exam selalu dia suruh lukis ray diagram pasal lens. Because for mirror, sometimes the image position maybe lari sikit. Tengok dia punya curve tu macam mana. But for lens, memang tak lari. You should get the exact same image position. Tak kisah berapa kali yang buat. Okay, ray number 1. Ray number 2, saya skip ray number 2. Instead, saya nak buat ray yang ketiga. Ray yang ketiga, kalau mirror, dia lalu C depan terbalik ke C. Center dia kan. Tapi yang ni, dia lalu dekat center sini. And then dia terus gerak. Okay, semua lens dia macam tu. Dia lalu kat center terus pergi belakang. Ni line paling senang lah. So, draw that one. Ada center and terus ke ujung. Again, kena ada dua arrow. Arrow 1, arrow 2. So this is our third ray ni. Ray yang kedua tu saya tak buat lagi. So now you already get the image position because you have intersection. So this will be your image position. And you can label this one as I. Okay. So from here, straight away you know that the image actually diminish ke magnified. Kalau kamu tengok betul-betul lah.
Diminish.
Okay, so you can state that the characteristic of the image diminish. Lagi apa?
Inverted.
Yes. Inverted. One more.
Real.
virtual.
Real. Ke virtual? Real. Okay, so this is lens lah. Jangan confuse. So lens, if the image form on the other side of the lens, behind the lens, that means the image is real. This is how a lens should work lah. Like pass through. Okay, now about kalau kamu dalam exam kan, kamu jangan biar macam ni. Kamu terlupa lagi satu benda, which is F dengan tu F yang dekat sini, jangan lupa tulis. Okay. If you are using my method yang macam saya buat ni kan, exactly like how I normally do, kurang tendensi untuk salah. Memang jarang salah. I mean, ray dia memang betul. Cuma masalah terlupa tulis kat sini. Ini you have to be careful. So, I straight suggest you to use my method, but then jangan terlupa lah F dengan tu F tu jangan terlupa tulis. So now, the second ray. The second ray ni tak ada berantu dia cuma tricky sedikit. Warna apa sini? Okay, let's say I choose color blue. The second ray ni, dia pergi ke F and then dia parallel. Ramai student, obviously dia akan buat yang ni lah. Pergi ke F, F yang belah sini kan. Lepas tu dia parallel macam tu. Itu salah. Dia pergi ke F, dia mesti F yang lagi satu tu. Dia takkan interact dengan F yang sama. So what happens is that dia actually lalu ke F sini. Then dia parallel straight to the principal axis lah. Boleh. Mungkin saya
Faham,
mengelak
sir.
sikit. Ha. Ingat dia takkan interact dengan F yang sama. So basically it will try to interact with another F daripada yang ray lagi satu tu. That's the key thing. And then once you draw this one, you can see clearly that this line actually producing a converging ray. Ray to converge kat satu tempat. So in a way kamu agak yakin lah that is your drawing is correct. Kalau dalam exam lah, kalau yang ni memang betul lah. Kita pisah sama. Ada soalan tak? Sebab tu saya tak galakkan kamu lukis the second ray tu. It is enough for you to draw the green ray tu dengan yang pink ray tu. Enough, cukup dapat full mark. Yang ray biru cair tu, nak lukis boleh, tak perlu lukis. Saya tak segalakkan lah. Biasa kalau lukis mesti salah. Okay, how about our concave lens? Okay, let's say if I choose image with the same position. Sebenarnya concave ni image dia kat mana pun kamu mesti dapat satu position of the image. Tapi kamu boleh cubalah. Dalam buku kamu nanti kamu cuba buat kalau dia dekat rapat dengan lens kan, image dia kat mana. Nanti kamu boleh nampak. Yang susahnya kalau dia rapat tu, student biasa confuse nak buka macam mana. Okay, now ray number 1, ray color green tu, dia apa datang dia? Macam mana?
Parallel.
Yes, parallel. So the parallel to principal axis. Lukis that one first. Lepas tu?
Focus.
Sepatutnya dia pergi ke F kan? Tapi dia takkanlah pergi ke F. Dia pergi dari F. So F yang mana satu? Kalau kamu hanya lukis satu F macam saya lukis sekarang ni, obviously dia hanya interact dengan F ini. So macam mana kamu nak lukis? Dia sebenarnya macam ni. Pergi daripada F like that. Okay? Tapi paper. Tapi kita tak adalah nak lukis semua macam tu. Yang kat belakang tu kita hanya perlu lukis as a dotted line. Echo kepada yang telah di refracted tu is a dotted line. So if you use ruler, dia lagi senang. Okay. Ini ray number 1. Ray number 2, obviously saya galakkan kamu lukis ray yang nombor 3 tu lah. Which is ray tu dia pergi ke tengah, terus straight dia sampai ke ujung dunia. So how to draw? From here straight sampai situ. This is ray number 2. Now you can see clearly. And kalau tadi kamu tak buat dotted line tu, kamu pun boleh terfikir nak buat dotted line tu kat mana. Sebab, yalah, nampak memang jelas. So, satu lagi kesalahan yang student boleh buat, jarang-jarang, tapi dia boleh buat salah, dia lukis kat sini. Janganlah macam tu. Image mesti daripada principal axis pergi ke intersect punya line. Okey tak?
Okay, sir.
Faham, sir, faham.
Okay, jangan berhenti kat sini, habiskan F dengan 2F. Okay. And then kalau dia tanya image karakteristik, apa image dia? Yang 3 dia. Kita bincang kat sini.
Upright.
Upright lagi. Diminish lagi.
Virtual. Virtual.
Okay. Dia tak magnify diminish dengan virtual. Okay, satu student selalu confuse virtual virtual dengan behind the mirror ataupun in front of the mirror. Boleh tak saya nak pilih in front of the mirror instead of virtual? Jawapan dia tak boleh. Because in front of the mirror, behind the lens, in front of the lens, opposite side of the lens, that one is actually position of the image. It's position, it's not characteristic. Characteristic mesti virtual atau real. Be careful with that. And then you already get a full mark. Okay, but let's say gatal sangat nak tulis ray yang ketiga tu. Ray ketiga Okay, let's say if you really want to draw the second ray. Okay, actually kalau dari sekarang ni kamu boleh nampak image dia kat mana, so dah cukup. And then you can see that the lights is actually diverging from each other. Dia dah diverge. Tapi if you really want to draw another one, the second ray tu dia pergi ke mana? Ingat lagi tak?
F.
Yes, dia pergi ke F, tapi dia bukan pergi ke sini. If you draw it like that, then it doesn't make sense because basically it interacts with the same F. So it is actually going to the another F. Betul. Lepas dia lalu
Betul,
dekat lens, dia pergi mana?
Dia parallel.
Yes, dia parallel.
Parallel.
Yep, saya confuse ni buat apa. Maafkan saya. So dia pergi ke F, lepas tu dia parallel. So ini sebenarnya punya direction. Okay. Main problem. Mistake number one. Once student draw, biasa student kalau dia nak buat yang ni, dia akan buat yang line satu dengan line dua ni. Yang green dengan blue tu dia buat. So, apa yang berlaku is that student will immediately dia akan draw the image dekat sini. Sebab ini ada intersection tau. Tapi the image is actually not over here because ini lights baru masuk. It doesn't have been refracted yet. Dia belum being refracted. So, kamu kena bikin echo untuk yang dah refracted, which is that one. So image position should be the same. So it's actually over there lah. So if you already draw 1 and 3, then you know the image is of where's the image. So dah boleh agak lah salah, kurang sikit kemungkinan nak salah. But the problem is, what if you draw line number 1 and line number 2 only? Common mistake. Sudah memang nak sangat draw kat sini. So please be careful sebab tu saya galakkan kamu buat line number 1, line number 3. Okay. Clear ke tak?
Faham, sir.
Faham Okay, this one you shouldn't worry too much. With practice, benda ni datang naturally. Tak ada masalah lah. As long as you do everything systematically. Start with the principal axis. Once you have the principal axis, you draw yang 5 punya sengat tu. And then the middle one, you draw a dotted line perpendicular to the principal axis. And then draw the position of the object. It depends on the question lah. Dia akan cakap biasanya objek tu jarak dia berapa compared to the focal length. So kamu boleh agak lah dia dekat in between F dengan 2F ke, bigger than 2F ke. And then afterwards, you can start with drawing the first ray yang green tu dengan yang third ray number pink tu. Okay. Dengan syarat F dengan 2F tu buat sebelah side je, jangan buat dua-dua. Kalau buat dua-dua dia confusing. So, sebab kita sentiasa refract dekat line ni kan, masalahnya ialah student selalu tertukar convex dengan concave. Dia tertukar type of lens itu. So, again, once kamu draw, dah habis draw, tanya diri kamu, does it make sense? Concave, ray dia tu nampak macam diverging. Oh, it makes sense. Kalau convex, ray tu adalah converging. Does make sense. So, itulah beza dia. Any question before we stop for today?
Tak ada.
Tak ada lah, justru lah. Okay, so tadi for the tutorial, I want you guys to do the tutorial. So after this, we have 2 hours. Please complete your tutorial, and then I will give you the video on the tutorial solution. And then for tomorrow in our next class, so kita buat online esok betul?
Betul.
Okay, so betul so that one kita akan buat 2:15, and then saya akan masuk chapter physical optic. It's a new chapter.
Sir,
Yes.
yang chapter 6 punya saya tak upload lagi dekat GC yang Google Meet punya.
Chapter berapa?
Chapter 6 punya. Alternative AC.
Saya dah upload je kat
upload
YouTube.
dekat GC.
YouTube
YouTube je.
kat YouTube je. Oh, maksud kamu dekat ED Puzzle lah. ED Puzzle tu saya tak letak pun kat ED Puzzle tu. Tak sempat itu.
Kan yang record meeting, yang record meet ni ha.
Ada
Selalu kan
dekat
dekat YouTube kan.
Saya ada record satu session kan. Saya letak kat YouTube. Yang ni pun sama juga nanti saya letak dekat YouTube. Nanti tengok
Ya, right.
Jadi tanya-tanya pun tak tengok kan.
Kalau nak tengok balik.
Okay,
Tengok
good.
lah sir.
Okay, lagi satu, ingat tak dulu saya ada kasih website saya punya link tu yang kat Google site tu.
Ada sir, ingat.